story is 100% true. It's about a romantic adventure that happened to me and to them. It starts here. We're in my West End flat and it's just before Valentine's Day. When I see the note sitting there, I can already feel it's something dramatic. It's anonymous poetry slipped under my door. I can't tell who it's from, but I'm extremely impressed with the secret poet's sense of drama. It feels nothing less than epic.
None of this came as a surprise to me or anyone who knows Sarah. She was always going on secret missions.
When Sarah got that anonymous poem, she was just so over the moon about it.
There was a number of possible suspects, but one that I wanted it to be. You see, at the same time, I was anonymously wooing a friend of mine, Ben.
That's me.
I'd sent him Morse-coded love messages via text, posted anonymous packages to his house, and had a massive anonymous email exchange. So couldn't Ben be the secret poet?
At first I thought Jack was the culprit. It definitely had his grubby fingerprints all over it.
I was the prime suspect.
It was only a couple of months before that he told Sarah that he was infatuated with her.
I thought it could have been Jack.
And Jack was totally into pranks. For example, after he broke up with his last lady friend, he sent her a Van Gogh themed present in a gift box.
And that makes me a suspect.
So I asked him,
Jack, do you know anything about this poem? I said no. And she said, okay.
regardless of who the secret poet was, I wanted to respond in a way that was even more dramatic. Who are you?
She wanted to work out who it was from, so she photocopied it onto red paper and pasted it all over town.
Just write to missrouge@gmail.com.
And she puts it everywhere. I mean, she puts it in alleys, she puts it on pillar boxes, walls, she straps it to homeless people as they're walking past, and it says, who are you? Sarah told me that she'd been sending anonymous messages to some guy, but she wouldn't tell me who it was.
I didn't know.
I had no idea about the whole Ben thing at all.
I started getting all these weird red envelopes sent to my house. They had like poetry and stuff in them.
She was basically stalking him.
I was being romantic.
That's what all stalkers say.
So then I started getting these anonymous emails from someone called Miss Rouge.
So it's Ben, the guy I'm sending poetry to sends me poetry back. He was just pretending to not know it was from me.
Yeah, Sarah wanted it to be Ben.
I had no idea Miss Rouge was SJ. I thought it was some skanky goth chick.
She was being stalked by someone else.
And then, late night on Valentine's Day, I get an email from someone called Soul Jive. There's a poem attached, and it's in the same format and same font as the one that came under my door.
And then
People start to write to Miss Rouge, responding to the poem they'd seen around the city.
Who are you? This is my question for you. Because you brought my life meaning in a single moment.
Perhaps this soul
And
is
love.
much like me, seeking, wishing dreams into reality.
Throughout all of this, Sarah is on the most incredible high.
This is my situation. I'm being sent anonymous poems from a poet called Soul Jive.
At the same time, she's having an anonymous email conversation with me, disguised as Miss Rouge.
And all these complete strangers are seeing this poem on the street and starting conversations with Miss Rouge about life and love.
And then,
This craziness continues and I'm no closer to knowing, until I get Sean round to my place to dig for clues.
We're checking out the latest poem that's come in from Soul Jive, and she's reading me out the words to this poem, and I'm thinking, hang on, I know this. It's The Garden! It's The Garden, you know!
Sean was in this band called Kibosh and they've got this song called The Garden. The lead singer and the lyricist is a really good friend of everyone's, Dean. This strange air guitar means Dean is Soul Jive, my secret poet.
It's so obvious, I can't believe I missed it for this
I
long!
knew it'd be a risk putting the lyrics from The Garden into the poem.
Strange, yes. Uncomfortable, yes. So I have to help Sarah construct an email to set the record straight.
I told him I really appreciated such a grand creative gesture, but I thought of us as good friends.
Sarah emailed me the response to my poem that she'd plastered around the city.
I wanted him to know how inspiring his words had been.
I was pretty touched by it.
At first I was angry with Dean. I'd been in Fantasyland and he'd burst my romantic bubble. I'd hoped it was Ben.
The funny thing is, I actually hate poetry.
I didn't know it at the time, but Ben was once the head of the Young People Against Poetry group. They flew a plane over Brisbane that said,
Poetry wrecks lives.
but we're going out now. That's it. The story of my crazy romance. The rest is still being written.